Hi everyone. It's another day, another carving, and today I'm taking a piece of a little chunk of 2x4 that I've got, cut a little piece off, and I think I'm going to do a little hobbit door just because that's just kind of what I'm feeling today, is hobbitish. So I'll get this cut out. This is going to go. It'll be something to put in a planter. I might even put a little hole in the back and a tree hanger on it, and this can be hung on your Christmas tree, and um, maybe some lights will shine through the windows. We'll see. We'll see if I end up doing it that way. Just sounds like a fun time. So let's go ahead and get started on this week of carving. Well, before I started carving, I thought I would go over to the bandsaw and get out this shape because this is just all waste anyhow. So I just wanted to do that. I actually remembered to leave the chimney there and not cut it off like I tend to do. Just so that we know what we're going to do here is we're going to cut back this front. This door is going to go down further. These windows will go in. This is going to be more like towards the back of this building right here. So this is all going to come out right here. I don't need that. And the chimney, and it's probably not going to sit right on the back. I've got to be careful here. There is a crack right there. Let's take that out before I destroy it all. So that's just going to make there's our chimney. We're going to have a little pipe coming out of the top of it. So I do want to remember that. This can all go away right there. All this in the front will go away. Perfect. And then it's going to probably come back this far is where the door is going to go, back to here. I'm going to have the dirt around here sticking out around there. The step, the stoop, whatever you want to call it, is going to be all the way at the front. And I'm not sure what we're going to put in here. It's not going to be smooth. I want it to look more like dirt. I also might want to have a small window over here. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll put this in or not, but I'll make that an oval window right there. It just feels, I don't think I could do a square. That just doesn't feel right to me. So, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start carving and see what we can do here. The nice thing about using this with a 2x4 because it just will take this right out of here. Well, look at that. That went pretty quick. I love this. I love this 2x4. This soft pine just really does allow you to just blow right through this stuff. One super nice thing about working with pine, it has its pluses and minuses, and I've mentioned this before. It's really soft, easy to cut, easy to shape, but it is also easy to break. If you'll notice this right here, this is such a wide grain pattern on here. If I try to make anything small and tiny on this, it can break easily. So like if I wanted to put a iron or a stove pipe type chimney coming out of here, chances are very good that it's going to break at some point because it's weak. That's why I'm only going to have this little teeny bit of a pipe with some stonework around it here. It also doesn't hold details as well as harder woods. So keep all of this stuff in mind when you're doing this sort of thing. I'm going to go ahead and continue. As someone that does power carving, I often get asked I get asked a lot what bits are best for different things. What I'm about to do here is I want to go and I want to get a nice sharp edge on the inside of the window. I'm sorry, inside of the door and inside these windows. I don't want that concave look that you're seeing there. I want it nice and smooth. I want it crisp. Um, and you've got it's hard to tell you what bit to use. First of all, you may not have every one of these, so you want to use the bit that you've got first of all, and you've got multiple choices. This one will do the trick because it will get in here. It's got it'll shave off flat side, so I can go in with this and go around. It's bigger. Same with this one. This has got some multiple angles to the cutting, so it makes it super smooth on this. This is usually for smaller things, like smaller details, but we can go ahead and get in here with this and then take a bigger one and clean it out, just like you would with a router bit. Same here. And this one will also do the trick. So there isn't just one specific bit that you can use to do what you want to get done. Use the bit that you're comfortable with. Most of all, use the bit that you own and currently have on hand just to get the job done. Multiple things will get everything done that you want to get done. This is what I chose right here, so we'll see what happens. See how smooth it looks now? Now this takes some getting used to, and again, I probably could have slowed down the speed with my variable speed here and not gotten such sharp lines in here that you can probably see. But it's okay because I'm going to have the shape of I'm going to have the grain and the slats going down. So it's no big deal on that. So what I'll do now is, just so you can see, now I'm going to have a doorknob here, but I'm using one of those nails that I typically do. It's a carpet tack. I'm going to pound that into there to give a nice black doorknob. And then we're just going to go ahead and put in door lines. This is where the slats, the boards for the door will go. And they're not going to be crooked like that. Okay, we'll go ahead and put those things in. Windows are done. Not sure what else I want to do there. I didn't do this window. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm not sure. I also want to put the stonework in here for this and get that going. Here we go. Again, as I said, multiple types of bits are going to work here. I just chose this one. I do have a sharper one, but I want to get a little bit more depth. So I don't want it as pointy like this one right here. You can see the difference. This is for really nice, fine, almost like drawing detail. This one gives a little bit more of a less steeper edge. So here we go. All right, so I feel really good about the chimney. I really like the way the stonework turned out. The door, you were able to see it when you're doing this. That bit likes to truly follow these lines in here, the grain lines, and you'll just see it jog off when it hits one of those at a different angle than what it is. So a little bit odd, but it's okay. It's a door, and it's a hobbit door at that. So I started putting this stuff in here. I think I'm going to put a brick surround around this, or a stone. I think brick maybe. And then I'll put some stonework just across the bottom, just to give it a foundation. And I will take it around. I still haven't decided on that window yet. Um, and then this is just going to be a grass top, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that here once I get it done and get it all the finish on it. So don't think I want to put much of anything inside these windows. I think they're good as they are. Maybe that's going to be so hard to make that line like that. That just may be something I paint in there, because I seriously doubt that I'm going to be able to carve down in here and get that look. Anyhow, okay, here we go. So now what I want to do is a little bit more shaping in here. Get this a little bit rounded down and do some shape on here. And once that's done, I'll go ahead and put some final detailing into these slats for this door right here. And I think I will go ahead and put a just a round window over here. I'm not going to do this oblong type thing. And then we can go ahead and start the finishing on this. So it's an odd statement. Start finishing. Anyhow, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and use this really super pointy one that I mentioned, kind of like a pencil. And I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines in here. I'm going to also put just some detailing in here as well. So here we go. A couple days ago, I broke this piece off. And what this is the bit that I use for my kind of little flap disc, where I put these little pieces of um, kind of wet dry emery sandpaper stuff on there. It's a little bit stronger than your regular. This little tiny screw broke off in my old one, so I had to get a new one. And so what you do with this is you want to put your first 3 pieces of paper in facing up towards the head of the screw, like so. And then you take the last one, flip it over so it's facing backwards. And that's all you've got, is just this little thing like this. You can go ahead and put that back on. And it is a good idea, whether you use a Dremel or whether you use a Fordham or whatever your power carving tool is, it's a good idea to have it locked into place. It's easier to tighten down this little screw if you have the shaft locked up for you and you have it in place, because holding that little tiny thing, at least for me, is not something that's super easy to do. So we'll tighten this all the way up like so. And there it is, it's ready to go. So let's go ahead and do some of this on here, get this sanded smooth, and then we'll start our finishing with the painting and all the little rest of the stuff we're going to put on here. I am really liking this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and these are supposed to be bricks, but I think they look more like stonework to me. So I'm going to paint those a gray, get this as a gray and this as a gray, black up here, put some light color in the windows. This will be I'm going to leave that, well, I'm going to leave that go and let the stain or the finish that I put on it do that, and I'll do a light wash of some brownish earth tones for here. And then this I'm going to cover with some train ground, some model railroad train ground cover. And you'll see what that looks like here very shortly. So I realize this isn't actually carving that I'm about to do here. This is finishing, painting, whatever you want to call it. But it's an important part of finishing your work. So again, you can either just put a finish on here, like a polyurethane or polyacrylic or a wood stain or an oil, and you're done. In this instance, I feel that this top is way too plain. So I need to make it look good, but with carving, I'm not going to be able to do what I'd really like to be able to do, and you'll see what that is here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and get me a brownish gray color to put on here. And I'm going to let that kind of soak down in to the cracks a little bit. And that's one thing I forgot to do, is get my black. You know what? I don't believe I recorded one bit of this. My apologies. I thought I hit the button, and apparently I was just talking to myself, which is kind of what I'm doing anyhow. But so what I did is I did a wash on here on all of the brickwork. I wanted a very wet amount of paint. It's kind of a gray and a brown mixed together. I want it to go down into those little crevices around here. That way, when I come in with the other brush that I've got, then I can go ahead, and I'll show you that right here. I'll take this other brush and I'll get into some gray, and then I'll start up here, very lightly touch the gray over top. And what that's going to do is give you the gray color of the brick, but it's going to let all this other stuff show through down at the bottom underneath. So all of your cracks are going to pop out. All the stonework, the masonry, so to speak, it's darker, and you'll be able to see that come through. And if you feel that that gray is just too much, wipe your brush off and just kind of brush over it and make it go away, make it go a little lighter. What's really nice is that I can also then, if I feel like it, get some highlight color on here to pop a different color in here. The more kind of, I mean, you can go overboard here, but the more colors that you put on there, it gives it more of a dimension to it. Don't go hog wild. You don't want like more than 2 or 3 colors on there. There's our stonework. And we can go ahead and do this down below. Now this stuff you don't want too wet. You want this to be a drier brush on here, because you don't want any of your paint running down into those cracks. You want to keep that darker color that's down below and in those cracks. You want that stuff to show up. And then again, I'll take a little bit of the white and touch on top, like so. And then again, we'll go around here and get a little bit of this just on the edges, just inside here. And I'm not real worried about under here. That's not going to be seen a whole lot. It's mostly the face. And that also then goes the same for here. Did I already do there? Yep, I did. Let's get a little bit of this lighter color up on top here. Wipe that down some. And that I got into the crack, just like I said not to do. So I'll put a little more of that brown back on here. And then we'll just start it over, like so. And there we go. Pretty easy to fix up any mistakes that you might make to cover your tracks. Nobody will know you're seeing it, because obviously I'm filming this, but you know, once it's done, no one's going to know what happened. No one's going to know if you made a mistake, just you. And we're going to go ahead and just barely touch some of this here, like so. couple of highlight areas like right in there. Wonderful. So now I need to go get some black. So what I want the black for is this stovepipe right here. I'm going to go ahead and get that right on top. Like it's an iron pipe. It's got soot on it. It's black. I suppose if we want to, once that dries, I can put like a little highlight of white on it, or actually I wouldn't put white. I would put a maybe a like an off-white like this one to give it a little bit of a highlight there. Let's see, what brush do I want to take out of here and try to use. All right, so I have a little bit of this green here, and I want to just kind of put it in down here, just to show, because I'm not going to put any of the stuff that I'm going to be putting on here for the ground cover. I'm not going to do any of that down here. It might not look all that great down in here. So I just want this to kind of have a little bit of a green look to it. Just a dark green, just a hint of it, so that you don't even notice that it's there, but then all of a sudden you do. It's kind of like, oh, wait, there's green there. That's kind of what I'm going for with that. How about that, a fly? Coming to check out the work. Okay, so I'm good with that. Now what I want to do is I need to take and really water down this brown a whole lot of watered down. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll put it all on here and right in here. And what we're doing, kind of using this as like a little bit of a stain. It's more of a paint stain, but that's all right. It'll make things pop a little bit, and it gives it some dimension. Again, we'll do this over here. I'm not too worried here because I am going to put some of this stuff down, and you'll see that again just in a moment. But I want the color to come through here. Okay, so a little bit here, just inside there. And that's probably something I should have done before I put the lighter color in there. But, I've never been known to do things in the proper order, so why start now, right? And then we'll get this all covered up here, kind of like so. Got a little bit of that green here. I don't really want that there. On top, it's fine. All right, so now I want also, I don't like just the plain brown like that, because again, it's almost just too plain. So we're going to go ahead and add a tiny bit of gray to it to give it a little bit of some highlight, a little bit of some depth to it. All right. What do you think? Everybody okay with that? Wonderful. So we're going to let this all dry, and then we'll come back. Oh, guess what I forgot? I forgot the stoop. What is with this fly today? He's really enjoying the view, I guess. Maybe he thinks this is a home for him. This is crazy. It's very cold out today here, and I wonder if he's just here to warm up, obviously. Look at him. What the heck? Dude, this is my stuff. Get off. All right. So there's our gray. I'm going to leave this alone, like I said, because I'm going to go ahead and put some of the stain stuff in here. Well, I know what I was going to do. Just a tiny pop of a highlight right there. All right, very good. We'll see if our little buddy fly goes away when I come back. This isn't perfectly dry, but I'm going to say we're dry enough. What I'm going to do is I've got some Danish oil that I'm going to put on it just to give us a nice little finished look. I'm going to start by putting it in the doorway, and then we'll just go ahead and brush it over top of everything else just to give it, again, more depth. I'm not sure how this is going to look, but it is going in the windows. those should pop through, and you'll see what I'll do here in a second for those. I will take a little bit of a paper towel and clean those up some so it's not so dark. I did nothing to the back, obviously. Back isn't even going to be viewed. And if it is, I'll just say I didn't get there. All right. So there is all of our Danish oil put into place. And then what I'll do is I'll take this paper towel and I'll go right inside these windows so that it's not, and those didn't turn out too hateful. I'm okay with that. So there we go with that. And I think we look pretty good so far. Let's see where so let's go ahead and get this little doorknob in right in the center. Oh, this is going to be a blast, isn't it? Oh boy. Let's see what I have. Not so much the proper tool, but I'm going to use it anyhow. Nice. It's in. So there we have our doorknob. Now, for the final touch, what I'll do is I'm going to put some of this Thick and Quick from Titebond on here, and I will get that put in right to the edges, like so. I'm going to come down a little bit here on this side, down a little bit there in the front. We'll get some more over here in a minute. And then what we do is we take some of this stuff and we put it on. It's just model railroad grasses, shrubs, whatever you want to call it. There's different colors of it. There's darker, there's lighter. You can put whichever ones you want on. And so that it gives it different shades, different hues, so that it all kind of will mix together and look more realistic. So we've got to get a little more glue in there. And let's see, what other colors have I got here? So I have 3 different shades, a lighter, a medium, and a dark. And we're just going to go ahead and get those stuck on there, like so. For some reason, it's not holding real well, but we'll get it. We'll get it on here, just like so. That's going to give us this grassy roof that we want to have for this project. So as you can see, we're starting to look good. And don't worry about this glue. It dries clear. That's the one reason I really like this stuff. And it dries pretty quick too. So I'm going to keep this a little bit thicker because that other side gave me a little bit of a fit, as you saw. So we're going to go ahead and put this in here and finish this all up with these different colors. And I'm making this up as I go, guys. It's not a I don't have a clue in advance as far as what I'm going to do. It's just whatever happens to be, and that's the best way to do this. Just let it go, and you don't want that junk in there. And again, let's not worry too much about this glue showing because it does dry perfectly clear. So I've got a little more over here to do. Get a little bit more light. Okay. Pretty cool. Now, what we'll do is we'll let this all dry. I want to make sure we can still see that fireplace coming up through. So we're going to let this dry, see how it dries. I may need to get some more glue on top. I may need to get some more in there to get things to stay where I want it to stay. But there we go. I'll be back in a second. Super happy with how this thing turned out. Super happy. I hope you guys are too. I just love the look of this model railroad shrubbery, grass, whatever you want to call it. You can get this at any hobby store, and it does a wonderful job to finish off your hobbit houses or your fairy garden houses or whatever it is that you're creating. This gives a nice finished look. And don't forget the carpet tacks. Those things come in handy for doorknobs all day long. They're perfect. So there we have it. We're all done. It's finished. I thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've taken the time to subscribe, to like, to comment. I answer every single comment that I get. I take them seriously, and I listen to what you have to say. So again, thank you. Go out and carve. Have a blast. And I will talk to all of you on the next video.